tool that you use for finding things in files. So I can do something like grep hello world Perl, and it'll look inside Perl for hello world, but I can't do that on directory directly. So I want to do something like grep hello world and Perl. Let's see, something that's in Perl. Let's see, ls Perl. Let's see, in arrays. We'll look in arrays. So Perl hello world Perl / array.pl. And that's the fact that nothing showed up means that there was no hello world inside of Perl array.pl. So with grep, it is grep and then some regex and then the place that you want to look for. So the source. And if you do a star for source, it'll search everything. And some helpful flags are -r, which will grep recursively starting with the thing that you give it. And then -b, which will ignore any white space. -i, which will ignore the case of the thing you're searching for. And then you can also do it with side by side, which will give you, that's for a different command. You can also just do, -n, which will give you line numbers for all the things you're looking for. So that is for grep. And the next helpful thing is the find command. So find will let you look for files. So you do find and then -name and then the file. So I can do array.pl, and it will give you the path to all the places that have that as a file name in them. And so the last command that's part of the files directories portion is the diff command. So diff is diff file1, file2. And with this one, it'll let you get the difference between two files. And similar to grep, this one has some flags that are helpful. So -b will ignore white space characters, -i will ignore case, and then side by side will give you the diff right next to each other on the screen. So you can look at file 1 on the left and file 2 on the right and visually be able to tell what the differences are. So the next thing we're going to talk about are the redirection of input and output to the terminal. So this has a couple of different things. There's the pipe command, which is just the straight vertical bar, and that will take the output from command 1 and make it the input for command 2. So you could do something like man hello and crept into grep hello, and that'll take the man file for hello and grep it for the word hello, and that'll show your screen. And if we do it with some of the special flags, so if we do grep with -n, it'll give us line numbers in the man file where the word hello shows up. So that's really nice. You'll notice that I have a bunch of really colorful output for all of my things, and that is something that I have set up in my bash RC, which is another video. So the other things you might want to know about are the less than and greater than symbols. So one less than sign will just replace the contents of a file with whatever would have been put out to the command line, and the double arrow will append to the end of a file with what got printed out to the command line. And a less than symbol will redirect standard input from from a file. So instead of having to type, you could create a file that has all of your input and just redirect it that way. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some Java-specific commands. So one of the first ones that is helpful is the Java version command. So you can do Java/version and figure out what kind of Java you have. And this lab machine has Java 1.8, which is good to know if you're trying to, like if you're in 3.12 and you're trying to write all of your code on your home machine, and you want to make sure it's going to run on the lab machine, just make sure that you're running the same version of Java on both. And then there's the Java-C command. So it's Java-C .java file. So that will compile your Java for you, and then once you're done, it'll be Java name of program. And this one doesn't have .class or anything attached to it. You should have just an executable that has the same name as the Java file you just compiled. There's also some UT-specific commands. So those are things like lpq, which this tells me that there are no entries currently on printer LW303, which is one of the printers in the upstairs lab. Then there's lprm, which you need to do -p, and then printer name, and then your CSID, and that will remove all the print jobs that you have currently hosted on that particular printer. This is helpful if there's like 100 people in front of you try to print the resumes and you have class in 10 minutes. And the last two that are really helpful are check quota. So if for some reason you stop being able to save or type things, it's because your disk quota is full, so you can run the check quota command, and that will tell you how much of your disk quota you have used. And if it's a ton, it's probably a caching issue, so you just go to root and then do remove/rf, that F is for forced, .cache star, and this is going to delete everything that's been cached on my machine, which normally lowers your percentage by quite a bit. We'll see how much it lowers mine by. So if I rerun the check quota command, see, I went from 81% down to 68% of my disk quota being used. And then if that still doesn't work, there is this command you can run that will look through all of your files and figure out what the biggest is and rank them. So it's du-sk ~*** star piped into sort-n. This command takes a long time to run, so I'm not going to wait for it to run, but what this will do is look through all your files and then sort them according to size. And I'm just going to use a Control-C to exit out of that early. There's a couple of fun things that you can do. So for instance, there's a calendar. So this will just give you a nice little calendar that you can look at. So now I can tell that it is Sunday, November 20th. There's date, which will just give you the date and Central Standard Time. There's yes, which will just print the same thing over and over again. So this is just saying get Y over and over and over again. And then you have to do Control-C to get rid of it. There's cow-say, so we can say cow-say hello. And we have a cow that says hello, which is kind of cute. And there's also fun ones. So for instance, you can do cow-say -f dragon and cow hello. And so this one is a dragon and a cow saying hello. So see, there's the dragon. It's all ASCII art stuff. And then there's fortune, which just tells you something random every time. And this is where pipe gets really fun, because you can do fortune piped into cow say and have this little ASCII cow say a bunch of fortunes. So if this one is, what's the use of a good question if you can't change it? The doctor. And then there's also X-eyes, which you can't do here, but what X-eyes does is a little eyes pop up on your screen and follow your cursor around. It's kind of cute, but also kind of creepy. So that is all the basic terminal stuff that you need to know to like navigate your way around. There is one last cool thing, well, kind of cool. So ls, as we print out the list of files, but if you do SL, a steam locomotive goes across your screen. So anyway, I hope this was helpful.